All right, here we are. What are we? March 21st.
I would have no
On a
idea.
beautiful sunny day. Lean in, Ryan, so you can speak into the mic.
Done, easy.
It's like when you used to work the glory hole. You got to get in nice.
You got to
and
get
close.
nice and close, and you know
Then
all
everyone
about it.
has the length, you know what I mean? So you got to get right up to the nut. We've got Ryan Cooper on, as promised. Took our time, unfortunately, but we got him here.
Finally
Ryan
got him
Cooper, local MMA fighter from Adelaide.
Yeah.
Originally from Mount Gambier. I learned that the other week.
You only just learned that.
Yeah, you only told me the other day. I don't know.
All
Come
right,
on,
mate.
man.
All right,
What
all
am I
right.
gonna do? I didn't buy your autobiography. Sorry.
No, you should have. I need the money, man. I need the
Guys,
money.
you know what I mean? It recently just fought on Eternal 56, was it?
No, 57.
57.
58 was the night after.
I knew because I knew that.
Hey, you didn't even know there was two
Yeah, I know.
back-to-back
I
shows. You know, I
I'm
had
like,
to tell you.
Can't wait to watch Togo
Togo.
and Ryan tonight. He comments on it going, "You do realise it's tomorrow?" I was like, "Fuck, man." Yeah, there was actually in saying that there was a really good two shows well done from Eternal. They put on an awesome show. We're lucky enough to have our guy Ryan, my good friend and training partner, here tonight. So thanks for coming on for starters.
Happy to be here, man. Finally,
Finally,
you know,
AZ
3
close
weeks,
enough for that one.
Yeah,
three weeks in a row. You know,
Yeah, hey,
Cancel
honestly, I'm useless, not gonna lie, but it was on him. It was on him.
it was on Rico.
Well,
you reckon?
you know, I mean, come on.
It was on both.
Oh, I'll take it, whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, all I know is every Sunday.
Everyone already hates me.
Every Sunday, you're like, "Are you free?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm free.
Yeah,
I'm free."
I know.
Oh no, you're free Monday. I'm like, "Oh, between these hours." Oh no, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Next week.
Well, it was just shout out to the Pitbulls where they had the big game on and they did well. So hey, they did their bit. But anyway, we're here
Is
now.
what it is.
We're here now, and that's all that matters. What should we do? Should we cross off what happened in the big cards, then we'll get to Ryan's fight and about
Yeah,
Ryan?
because
Yes,
I
that's
can just
good.
get all the shit done first.
Yep,
Look, so
get
we
the
can
shit
lead
out of
into-
the way.
get
All right, let's
lead
do
into
it, man.
Ryan's stuff.
Well, here's your coffee, my friend. So we had the UFC was on today.
Yep,
We had
yep.
Derek Brunson against Kevin Holland. Pretty boring fight.
Yeah, I
Pretty
didn't
boring.
actually watch the fights for
Yeah,
once.
It was a bit of a
It's
boring
more
fight,
the
man. It was,
shenanigans going on was more
yeah,
interesting than the fight.
very, very strange. Kevin Holland's yelling to Khabib, "When's he gonna take me down? What do I do?" Like
He's asking
being
for
a
wrestling
smart ass,
instructions.
Really?
Yeah.
He was literally in his corner, like yelling at Khabib. He's like, "Hey, Khabib, what's he gonna do next?" Like yelling shit like that.
Really?
Like wasn't his corner in the first round? I don't think his corner gave him any advice. He
It was
just,
frustrating because standing up, you know that Holland could have finished
yeah,
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
He
And I
caught him
think-
with some good right hands, man.
I think he was more focused on the shenanigans and
Yeah.
And just
the
talking
banter.
Well,
trash.
okay, but another thing is, and I find this what happens with a lot of fighters, they mask their inability with their shenanigans and be like, "Oh, yeah, that's why." Kevin Holland, you got wrestled for 3 rounds. You didn't like pull it up. You obviously don't know how to wrestle. No offense. No offense. You got out wrestled. You got outworked by. That's what annoyed me a little bit about the commentary. I felt like they were trying to say what you were saying, but I think I've lost his name. Derek Brunson.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a superior wrestler today.
So
in,
superior
in,
fighter.
in between in the second round break, Holland said it. Goes, man, he's heavy. Like he
Yeah.
puts a lot of like, you know, his pressures like it's. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
like, they're telling him like, you got to stand up. You got to stand up. He's like, Coach, I'm trying to.
Yeah,
man. Like,
nah.
believe me, I am
At least he's
trying.
honest.
To
In
you
the
know.
second, they both opened up a bit. Holland caught him with some good shots, and then fuck, I keep slipping my mind. Brunson caught him with
Brunson,
some
yeah,
shots.
So you
But then
train with
after that, yeah, I trained with him. I just
Fucking
keep
hell,
forgetting his
man.
name.
Oh.
I keep thinking of Dennis Rodman because
Yeah, yeah, 'cause
that's
of the
why I'm
hair. I
confused,
gotcha, I
man.
gotcha.
I'm not racist, all right, but you know they just confused me, man. But but then Brunson caught some shots, but then I think he felt Holland's power a few times. I was like, man, I can't fuck with this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Henry was in the corner, and I think he pretty much just said to Brunson, you know, like he's only got chances on the feet. You need to just keep getting into
Yeah.
the ground, and he
Yeah.
did. And then, I mean, Holland finally kept it on the feet in the last round, and then ends up taking Brunson
Yeah.
down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was
And
it
just-
Brunson first time he's been
Yeah,
taken down.
and he was. I think he was yelling about it, going,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, I took you down like on the first time I
Yeah,
take
but
you
like,
down."
I mean, what does
Yeah.
that mean if you've
And,
lost
and
the
like
fight?
and like Rick said, the shenanigans were too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately now he goes.
They
far
have
back of
worked
the
for
line.
him though.
Yeah,
I mean, against who did he fight last? I think it was Jacare.
Jacare. Yeah.
Jacare took him down.
Yeah.
He was talking some smack. I think it caught him off Jacare off guard, and then he knocked him out.
Yeah.
You know,
That was a heavy
Jacare got
knockout.
comfortable for a
And
second.
that Holland, he's a very dangerous, wild
very
fighter, man.
dangerous.
And then in the co-main event or the fight before that was
Max
Who was
Griffin
that?
and Kenan Song.
yeah, and that was a good knockout, man. Very good knockout. Griffin, it was quite tight early.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like Song was actually the one who was doing a bit better, and then out of nowhere, boom, and just flatlined him.
Yeah, it's like you could see in the look on his face.
Yeah,
It was like,
really just put his lights clean out. So that and then he called. I can't remember who he called out. I read on Instagram that he called someone. I wasn't sure. The guy that Wonder Boy just beat, Kevin. Was it Kevin? I forget his name. The guy that Wonder Boy beat, the black guy. He's from Texas.
Jeff.
Was it Jeff?
Jeff.
Maybe it was
Jeff
Jeff. Jeff Neal. Yes, he called out Jeff Neal. That's the one. Sorry.
But it's spelled with a G. Yeah. I don't know.
I can't spell it. You wait till we get
you
to
can't
the
even
name.
pronounce the name, let alone
You'll
spell.
see it. He
but
listens to the podcast, so he's heard me
I
butcher
mean, like,
names.
like the ONE FC guys, some of them are a bit hard to pronounce. And if you want to do it
I
properly,
swear someone's just mashing the keyboard for these names. Yeah, they're like, you know. But and then there was one of the fights on there.
The girls were before that.
I was unable to see that. I didn't see
No,
that
you
fight.
catch
There
it?
was a lot of heat after that fight. Which one thing I did want to bring up. I find it very strange. You're a fighter.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if you've ever been into this altercation. You know, in a fight. I've never had it in a fight. I've had it in sparring. You know, these girls, they fought 3 5-minute rounds, and then they get up after that, and they're still arguing, wanting to punch on. I'm like, you've sort of had your opportunity to fix. What are you gonna do?
I don't get that. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
We've
maybe,
just went from fighting, and we're gonna fight again. Like, I don't get it.
what did they like? If they have that much energy after the fight, did they really fight their hardest?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I mean,
don't know.
when I just fought then, like, that was the last thing I felt like doing.
yeah.
I
mean,
just want to looked over at the guy and I'm like, yeah, we just fought.
Yeah,
Cool.
But my more point is like, so we fought, we got up, we argued. Like, where does this go to now? Do we go back into another fight?
Do we
Like,
just-
you've tried to beat me up, you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Like, so what are we gonna do? We're just gonna go back down that same path again.
Just
but-
go out the back and have a brawl or what? You know?
And who won that one? Not JP Byers, missus. It was the other one.
Montserrat Reese.
Yeah, she's Mexican.
Yeah.
I don't
And
even
then
know.
we're moving on. Rick wants to talk about this guy. That's why I'm.
Tuivasa.
No.
So in the bantamweight, you had Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez. Now,
Yeah, that's why.
Adrian Yanez, man, was crisp, man.
Yeah.
South American.
Anytime
boys.
there's like a Latino fighter come in and look that good,
Yeah. I've got to.
I'm
gotta get
backing
behind
him.
And how do you
Yeah.
say his name? Sorry.
Adrian Yanez. Now I don't know if the N is the Spanish N
Oh, he should
It's-
know though, should he not?
because it's not it's on the fight shots. It doesn't have it.
Are you Taco Bell Mexican?
Because it could be Adrian Yanez.
But
Tex-Mex.
anyway,
What I would
he looked really good. He actually
Yeah.
looked really good. That guy. I gotta say, he had beautiful hands.
Yeah.
And Lopez was tough. He hung in there for 2.5 rounds,
Mhm.
and then just got knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he looked good. And then
They call him Mini Masvidal
Mini
because he's got the
Masvidal.
little goatee thing.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
Masvidal was
yeah.
younger, he
Yeah.
had that thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
So
yeah.
it was
nice.
that same sort of look.
And then you had Tai Tuivasa, the Australian. He fought I didn't get the name.
Harry Hunsucker, and he called
That's one.
In the post fight interview, Ty called him Honeysucker. He's like, thanks for coming. It was a 4 days notice or something
Yeah.
like that. He came in.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I mean, props
nice.
to him taking the fight.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you got to do that.
Yeah, especially a devastating, hitter like Tai Tuivasa. You know, I mean, you wouldn't want to take him on 6 weeks notice, let alone 4 days.
I know.
And he got
guy's got
found out
balls.
real fast, man.
And
He
it
got-
wasn't even the hands that caught my eye.
Yeah.
It was the leg.
it was the
kicks,
leg
man.
kick. He landed
Yeah?
a massive outside leg kick, and this
Love
guy's
that.
This
Face
guy's
just
face, he just
changed.
winced. There's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, he's done.
I think out of his 11 knockouts, 4 of them are in under a minute. Yeah, Tai Tuivasa.
Yeah.
He's got some serious power, man. And, he's one of those guys like a Mark Hunt, if he can get his shit together, man, like, the world is his, man, to have. And he's a very cool guy, very cool personality.
He came out to Shania Twain.
Did he?
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know
yeah.
which one it was, but he was singing
Not man
his.
feels like a woman. Man
Nah.
feel like a woman. What's the other Shania? I love Shania Twain, but
Yeah.
I love.
But he came out like
Mate,
singing
love you, Shania.
full on.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
that.
it's-
Even at the press conference, I don't know if I showed you the other night at the press conference when he's like the media guy's like, oh Ty, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as a world elite fighter, or do you want to be remembered as a guy who drinks like out of a shoey? He's like fucking bit late for that. The way that Sydney accent, he's like I fucking punch people's heads in. I drink piss. What is it?
Yeah, for me, like, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I've got to
He's
say.
authentic.
That's one thing I love about fighting and mixed martial arts, especially, it's one of the only sports left where you come in with your own personality.
Exactly.
You know, where you see soccer and football and it's all sit straight and do as you're told and drive the car that you bought. Like in fighting, you know, you see guys rolling big gold chains, grills, tell people to, some tell them to fuck off, some bow. And that's
Everyone's
why
different.
I love martial arts because, you know, we're our own entities and we're running our own shows, which is cool. I mean, we actually get ripped off, you know what I mean, as fighters, but hey, we're cool guys, you know, so that's all that matters. So he won by a knockout in under a minute. Then they had the undercards, but we won't get too deep
Bam
into
Bam
that.
after the fight said as well, goes, if you guys can offer me any other fight within
I've
the next
seen that.
few weeks,
I'll fight.
put me on.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
out here now, you might as
In reality, this fight does nothing for him.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Nothing
fought a
at
guy
all.
on- fought a guy on 4 days' notice, got him out, clean sweeped him.
Yeah.
And Bam Bam knows, dude, while I'm here,
Yeah.
get me another
Yeah,
fight. Because if
exactly.
I'm going back to Australia,
It's
he's
just
got
such
to
a process,
quarantine,
yeah.
he's got to go through all the
Such a process, yeah.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
he's just like, you know what? While I'm here, give me another.
and
Might as well stay there, yeah.
But that's encouraging for the UFC too, because you know Bam Bam's probably a guy who would be like, "Fuck, let's just get out of here and drink the piss." But he's like, you know,
Oh, he
nah,
probably
let's
did
do
though.
it.
He still
Well, that was
probably
the funny
did,
thing.
though.
Sorry, I forgot I left that out in the press conference. Because then he's like, you know, I've changed a bit, you know, but like, you know, the other night, man, I was gonna go out and fucking get pissed, but I didn't. But I fucking really wanted to. He's like,
He's honest about it though.
But, you know, so that was funny. Then we had the one championship.
Yeah, Friday night.
Did you watch any of it?
I caught some of it before I fell. I was just really wanted to watch the main event, and I fell asleep, man.
Who's in that?
If you do get a chance, once again, to the casual fans, One Championship is great because it's free and you can watch it anywhere, anytime on your YouTube. And if you want to watch a fight, and he is a quality, is Ursel, the kickboxer, the lightweight world champion.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Honestly, phenomenal performance. I watched the fight and I watched it twice. I watched it while I was training at Rikers. I was watching bits and pieces of it. Then I probably sat down in front of the TV and I watched it. And yeah, honestly, this guy is, his levels, man. Like, he is an amazing striker. It was 5 3 minutes, just constant onslaught, constant. This guy does not give you a second to breathe, man.
Yeah,
and it's
pressure.
you know, that K1 style.
Yeah.
And this guy, like I've had the pleasure that for my first fight, he was the main event, so it was cool. I fought underneath him. I got to see him. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm a big fan of him, man. So he absolutely, he gave what's his name? I called that, man. He's gonna get a hiding, but no, he did good, man. You've got to give respect to
Mustafa. Yeah.
Mustafa. Man, he held in there, bro. Like, honestly, he got beat from
But
minute.
just
There was
didn't
not.
stop.
I didn't see a minute in the fight where he actually sort of had a bit of a run. It was just constant one-way traffic, and he didn't go down, man. So respect to the guy. Then you had the Australian.
Yeah, Alma Jiniku.
Alma Jiniku versus Janet Todd, who actually Janet Todd is actually a sport like a aerospace scientist.
Really?
They need a bit more. So
Yeah,
I don't
easy.
I don't want to miss anything. She's apparently, I'm not exactly sure her degree, but she is like an I'm pretty sure she's involved in NASA. She's very
And
intelligent.
she's fighting.
So she's actually the K1 world champion. She took the title off Stamp Fairtex, who's a beast. She beat Stamp. And and then now she's trying to win the Muay Thai world title as well. And she's done very well. I'll give you that. Jiniku, is that how you say Jiniku? She fought well. She was putting up a lot of numbers, but once Janet Todd sort of worked out the rhythm, she dropped her in the second, and then just ran away with it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch this card.
Yeah,
what time was it on?
Oh, they're usually on at Friday night, like Adelaide time, maybe like they start maybe 11:30.
Yeah.
They're late, so I
yeah.
usually watch them the next day.
I mean, I was dead by then, so you know.
Like the main event's not till like 1:30, 2 a.m.
I was preoccupied eating some fried chicken.
That's it. And then on that card, you also had Silva and what was the Japanese guy's name?
Hiroba Kinoa?
Was it?
Konnichiwa.
Hiroba Minowa.
He fought the Brazilian. That was a good fight. If you're a grappler, if you're a grappler and you like your grappling, should I be facing this way, Rick?
No, you're talking. No, keep going.
I don't know.
You're good.
You gotta figure it out.
You're good.
Anyway, he fought. If you're a grappler, and you know what I mean, because that's one cool thing about One Championship. They're still like, it's not all about striking. They don't mind grappling fights. So it was really good. It was a real tightly contested MMA grappling fight. It was good.
Yeah.
Man. It was good, like ground and pound. A lot of submissions being put up. A lot of heel hooks, knee bars, attempts. So it was really good. And what Silva was clinical, man. His jiu-jitsu was beautiful to watch. He flowed through all the positions very well. Was underneath attacking, on top attacking. But he lost. Silva actually lost that fight on the decision. I personally thought Silva was winning. But hey, good work to give me the name.
Hiroba
Manoa. And
Mm-hmm.
then you had the girls fight. That was a good fight, and I've got to say the Team Lakai girl. I'm a big fan of Team Lakai.
Yeah.
She hit a sick. I don't even know what you call that. She had him in like a, when you're going in like for like a single leg, and it was like a guillotine, like a, what do you call that?
I'm trying
Ezekiel,
to
like
think.
an Ezekiel
Yeah.
style choke, and she caught the Brazilian. I'm pretty sure the Brazilian's a black belt, and she tapped her out. So that was pretty cool. And then they had
Anything can happen in MMA.
let me see.
You had Roshan.
That was a good. The
Minor
first
and
fight was
Aziz.
good. It was a lot of fireworks, but yeah, and it was an okay card. It was a decent card. A lot of striking. The thing with one championship as well, they're smaller guys.
Yeah.
Generally, so fights usually go the distance, but they have some like firecracker
But
guys.
smaller
in there.
guys are exciting.
Yeah,
man.
they are. If you like fighting.
If you like
If
fighting,
you're a fan of fighting, you like the smaller guys because there's a lot more technique, a lot more skill involved. But if you're a casual, you just want to see people get knocked out. So that was, I guess, this week's news. What have we got on next week for UFC, Rico?
You got Stipe Ngannou.
And actually on that, Volkanovski's
I
I was
out.
about to say that. Yeah, Volkanovski's
And
out.
also in saying that,
Brad Riddell was out.
yeah, that was this week. He was meant to fight.
That was the fight I wanted to see.
I really wanted, and that's why I'm
Gillespie,
bringing that up.
I'm interested in him.
Yeah, I wanted to see the fight between Riddell and Gillespie. I was actually quite excited for that. I was spewing when I seen that it got called off, so that was disappointing. Maybe they'll run it back. Who knows? We'll see.
Hopefully. I mean, they're still both there, so you'd assume they'd just wait a couple of
but
weeks.
the problem is how big of a weight cut do they do to get there? You know what I mean?
That is a problem.
Yeah, so it is a concern.
Yeah, with that, the Volker fight getting scratched really hurts that.
The card's still good. You're still going to tune in and want to watch the Ngannou and that. But
I mean, who doesn't want to watch that?
Yeah.
when Ngannou's anyway, you know that someone's going to get hurt. You know what I mean? And it could even be
Majority of the time. I mean,
Yeah.
when he fought
Yeah,
Derek Lewis, that was
very
pretty
boring
fucking
to
average.
watch. And the world wants to see that be run back. Let's be honest, man. Like that has to go again.
Yeah.
Derek Lewis and him, like something.
But I think they
something
said they'll
wasn't
never
right
do it
that
again.
day.
I'm pretty
I
sure
heard
he
that
said
they've been talking about it.
Oh,
There has
really?
been a bit of talk after Derek Lewis knocked out Curtis Blades. There's been a bit of word about it. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. So on this card, it looks like a pretty thick card, we got unfortunately Volkanovski's out, which is like Rick said, it is a big hit to the card.
Big.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's what COVID does, Rick. Maybe COVID is real.
Maybe.
Volkanovski could have got the jab, man.
Yeah. Should have got the jab, man.
Well, the interesting thing about that is
the jab.
he got it somehow over there.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have it. I'm pretty sure he tested negative before he flew out, obviously.
Yeah.
Otherwise, wouldn't have been able to fly.
Yeah.
Tested negative when he got there.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, somehow he's tested positive. I mean, I wonder how that happened when he's like, they've got all these protocols. You know, he wouldn't be interacting with too many other people because you wouldn't be allowed to. They're in the UFC's
bubble,
bubble.
yeah, whatever
so
they call it.
what happens there?
Was it-
How did
where
that
was that
happen?
fight?
Was it him that tested positive?
Yeah,
Or was
I'm pretty sure he did.
That was 99% sure because I seen that when it got released, they put up a video of Ortega, and he was saying like, unfortunately, you know what I mean, he got. So I'm assuming he got it. You know what I mean? Volkanovski got the
Pretty sure he released a
COVID-19.
statement saying that as well.
Okay.
And wait, so Riddell would have,
I don't know between Riddell and Gillespie. I don't know. I just seen it.
because that was COVID. That was
Yeah,
that's-
the
that's-
article, the thing I said just said cancelled due to COVID
COVID.
protocol.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly what
Yeah.
happened there.
When was Riddell? Is he part of Volker's?
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Was it maybe because they're together and they maybe quartered off each other? I don't know. But they
Yeah.
are on separate cards. Are they even going to be in the same area
Well, there's-
together?
They
It's
are
a
in the
week
same area.
apart.
Because watching the
Okay.
the flight dietitian stories and whatnot, and he's cooking food for both of them. They're both in the same room,
yeah,
so there you
yeah,
go.
That's probably what's happened now. He's probably caught it off.
One of them's got
Riddell.
it.
Yeah, so he's probably caught it
Yeah.
off Riddell, and now he's fucked.
Well,
You know what I
Riddell
mean?
could have cut it off him.
Yeah, same. Yeah, exactly.
Same
So
shit.
unfortunately, that's sad, but that card still looks pretty strong. Sugar O'Malley's back. Sugar.
Putting his undefeated
Yeah.
record on the line.
It is
I mean,
mine.
interesting mentality.
I see I see what he's saying, but like at the same time, like you're not.
Mm.
You know, what I mean, unfortunately, you're not, bro. Like you lost.
Hey, I mean, maybe he's just playing with it.
Yeah, maybe.
You know,
that's it.
like he maybe.
That's a lot.
you know,
I find a lot of fighters do that. They say statements that they don't even believe. They just have to fuck with people.
Exactly. Like,
they're
why
smart
not?
asses,
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Good luck to him. And he's a good fighter. He was a
Yeah.
guy that people love tuning in to watch. So he's back. Who's he fighting?
He's got Thomas Almeida. Don't really know much about him.
All I know is he wears sunglasses as
record?
well.
He's got
Thomas Almeida.
Yeah, wears sunglasses out to the ring.
22 wins, 4 losses.
He lost to, I think he was undefeated, and then he lost to Garbrandt. I'm pretty sure he got knocked out, and then I'm not sure what happened to him after that.
He's in a 3-fight losing streak.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's why
Jimmy
he's against
Rivera.
Sugar O'Malley,
Yeah.
because they want to put him against someone that looks good, but he can get a win against.
Yeah.
Put him back right onto that hype train.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ryan's on the
He's on it. He's on it.
I mean, look, if you look at people's records, I mean, go look at boxing records.
Look at the, it's
Yeah.
the business.
I was
It's the
looking at
business.
what's his name, Canelo's record the other day, and I was like, fucking hell.
Why'd you have to bring him up?
Bring up that name. Because Canelo's like Jesus to these people. He's got a fucking steroid hanging out his neck, and he's going, nah, he's not a
You
cheat.
had to bring him up.
Hey, I'm just saying,
You got him going.
I saw the record. That's all.
He's
I'm
padded.
just going.
He's
I'm
padded.
just going by the
He's
record.
What do you
padded.
mean? What, like, so you reference his record? What?
Like
are you
I'm
referring to?
like, he's had. I think in his like 10th fight, he's fighting someone that was like had 2 wins,
Yeah, but that's
20 losses.
That's boxing.
Yeah, that's boxing, is it? Yeah, I know
Tony
what
on
you're
his first.
But you
one
know
of his
what I
first
mean,
fights,
like-
he would've
we've
won that
but
one.
they
had
do.
this
Oh,
discussion.
you've had the
Yeah,
discussion.
boxing is. Let's be honest, whether you're a boxer or not, boxing is one of the most like rigged sports. There, like in terms of like on your way up. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
is, you know what I mean? You go look at any good boxer, you get their early day records, man, and then you go get an MMA fighter and look at their early day records. Like
I don't think it's as bad as in MMA though.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing. And that's
Yeah,
how you
yeah.
know it's a load of shit. Go look at a Thai boxer. They don't fight guys who are 0-3.
They just
Like,
fight
so,
whoever's
you
put
know
in
what I
front
mean?
of them.
Exactly. The MMA and kickboxing, we sort of just fight whoever. Where boxing has become more of a business, so that's why it's headed
definitely.
down that path. But we won't get too far off the topic. We'll stick on the
good, all
UFC.
good.
We got who else is on that card? You got because it was an
Vicente
Woodley,
Luque and
Woodley
Woodley.
and Vicente. I can't wait to see that fight. I think that's
It's
going to be a
interesting.
sick fight. And personally, if Woodley doesn't do something, I think it's over. I think it's done.
He
He's
needs
got to
to-
pack it up.
he's
I
gotta
mean,
call it.
personally, if I'm in Woodley's corner, I'm almost telling him it's over. You know what I mean? But that's from a fan's point of view watching it on the TV. But I mean, his last 3 performances have been terrible, like horrible.
It just hasn't seemed to be like switching on
But
when he's in
yeah.
there. He's just not there.
But in saying that, the last 3 fights are guys that are in the top 3.
Agreed. But the
Yeah.
thing is, if you can't even put up a good battle against those 3 guys, then what are you doing there? Like, are you there now to make up numbers, or are you there to win a world title?
True.
That's the question
So
you got to ask yourself.
Make money,
Against
probably.
Yeah, and
Usman,
if-
you completely got dominated.
Completely
Gilbert Burns,
completely dominated.
and then Colby, it was a rib.
Completely dominated. He got dominated. He got
Yeah.
destroyed. And I know what you're saying. They're 3 of the best guys in the world, 100%. But all I'm saying is, where's Woodley at? Is he in it just to finish his contract, or is he in it for the world title? Now that's I'm a fan. I'm just making an opinion. I love Tyron Woodley. I think he's a beast.
Oh, I want to see him
Yeah,
come back.
Look, I was about to say I'm a fan of no fighter. Meanwhile, I'm wearing a Stylebender shirt.
That Stylebender
Come
shirt
on, man. But Stylebender's he's a legend, bro. I love him, man. People freak out when they see me with this shirt on. They'll be like, "Oh, why are you wearing another fighter's shirt?" I'm like, "Man, I'm a fan."
I've been a fan
Yeah.
of him since he fought on Knees of Fury here in the main event.
Yeah, Stylebender's. But I'm a fan of a lot of fighters. I do like him. But at the end of the day, even when Stylebender does fight, I don't sit there with come on, Stylebender. May the best man win. Like, I just like Stylebender as a person, and if he wins his fight or he loses his fight, I'm not angry at it. It's the fight game. So,
Exactly.
But
sorry.
Going back to the fight, it gets interesting now if Vicente wins, because now he's gonna be fighting a top 5 guy, and for me it's Gilbert Burns.
Yeah.
He's in the way.
Yeah.
And they're very, very, very good friends.
Yeah,
Obviously
very.
corner
They
each other.
Yeah, they corner each other. I
So
don't know what's
nice.
going to happen there. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, that welterweight division's so small, but
And then
think
even
about
then,
it, man.
then you got to go back. Then
Yeah,
Usman is even there. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you got 3 Sanford dudes.
Yeah.
Sanford dudes. Because Usman went back to Sanford after the fight.
Yeah,
and
I seen that. I seen a
there
photo.
was
on
photos
that,
of
yeah.
Usman.
Oh, is he back there?
Well,
I don't know if he's back there training, but I'm pretty sure he lives in Florida.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
He
there was
lives
a
in Florida,
there was
and
a
he probably
photo.
went to the gym, he trained, hung out with everyone.
Yeah.
He showed face, but I think he's now with Whitman. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he's with Trevor Whitman now.
And that's
Yeah.
that's massive credit to Sanford MMA,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
having-
no,
Yeah.
definitely. No, it's the, credit to the team down there, with Henry and Greg and all that. They've built up, probably the best stable in the world. They really have, and it's a credit to them, and you just see it now in that welterweight division.
Yeah, it was stacked with them guys.
And that's the thing. That was a problem for a while. You had guys like Danny Roberts there.
Yeah.
We've probably got at Sanford, some of the probably 15 of the best, some of the best welterweights in the world.
And like top guys in the same divisions.
Yeah.
Like again, like I mentioned to Tony during the week, Brendan Vera and Angla.
Yeah, Angla, yeah.
And like
the Brendan
both-
Vera's made the move to Sanford too now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this is like, dude, those two like 40. What,
Yeah, I
fight
remember-
twice.
Well, now Rory McDonald's there too. No, they only fought once.
Oh, once.
Angla,
I remember
Rory
watching that.
McDonald's there now.
Oh, really?
And so was Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
So they fought each other.
That'll be
you know.
interesting.
Luke
And-
Rockhold's there, and so is Luke Rockhold comes in and out.
Isn't
But
he
Victor
at
Belfort's there. Oh, Luke Rockhold's all over the place. He goes
Yeah.
he goes to AKA, he comes
yeah.
to Sanford, he goes to
what was it, that other place?
RVCA.
Yeah, Mike Bisping's old gym. I'm pretty sure he's
Nah.
training with his coach. There was a video of them together.
Yeah, no, I did
Yeah,
see him
yeah,
together.
yeah, I
Is
did
that
see
one
that.
was old coach?
I
don't know.
can't remember
But
the
he's
gym,
sort of
though.
all he's sort of,
Yeah.
because I think he spends a bit of time in California, but in Florida.
He's just all over the
He's
place.
a pretty cool dude, Luke Rock. I'm not gonna lie. I sort of look, yeah, man, respect him, man. I want to be as cool as him one day. He's a pretty cool dude. There's a lot of guys there, so that's interesting.
Mhm.
I wonder I wonder who Gilbert is going to get next. That's another big one too.
Yeah.
Be
I
interesting where they
personally
go.
would love to see Gilbert against Covington.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like.
But
to
would they
see.
do it though?
I'd like to see. I would love to see that fight. I think it'd be a great fight.
Mhm.
Personally, as
I
a
don't
fan.
understand why Masvidal was fighting for the title.
Yeah, so do
Yeah.
I. You know who he made a great call. He called
I mean, I'll watch it.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah, I know what you're
but,
saying.
But, like,
but
why?
you're watching it from an entertainment point of view.
Exactly.
That
I think
that's
he made
purely-
the best call, and I didn't even think of it. Wonderboy versus Usman. I think that would be
That's
a
interesting.
great fight, a
Stylistically,
great
like,
fight,
how does that
man.
go down?
Yeah, because then
Yeah,
that's
no.
why I think the UFC are afraid of it, because Usman isn't the most go-getter sort of guy. Neither is Wonderboy. So they're a bit like, is that going to be a super boring fight? So
Because I'm pretty sure, what was it, Wonderboy's fight with Woodley. That wasn't that exciting from what I remember.
well, two
They had two
fights,
yeah.
quite a
And
boring
they were
fight.
like pretty
Yeah.
average.
So that's
Technical though.
But I think as a fighter watching it, I have to agree with him. I'd love to see that fight. I think that'd
It'd
be
be
a
interesting.
sick fight to watch. I think Wonderboy is one of the best in that welterweight. And I got to agree. I heard one of the commentators make this call. On any given day, Wonderboy beats anyone in that division.
Yeah.
Anybody.
Mhm.
He's a freak.
Well,
man.
who's he lost to?
Pettis recently. That was like his. Then Woodley twice.
No, draw. I'm pretty sure it was draw the first time.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
first one was
sure.
a draw.
First
Okay,
one
there
was
you
a
go.
draw.
There you go. So, but he's lost to Woodley.
Yeah.
He lost to Pettis. Got knocked out against Pettis. Remember when he just jumped
Yeah,
off the cage,
that
caught
was
him.
crazy.
So yeah, I think Wonderboy is a freak. I'd love to see him, but he's a bit older now too. I think that's why they won't give him a shot. So like, if you win it, what's the point of you, man? You're gonna
Yeah.
win the belt, and then
Well, what's he now?
I think he's like nearly 40.
Really?
If not 40.
Fuck,
Like
that's
you have to
alright.
double check that. But yeah, let me
Bring it up, bring it
I know,
up.
I feel bad. I don't want to call it out.
Get the details.
Let me get it up. Wonderboy Thompson.
Isn't that Rico's job?
Yeah.
You know, find the information.
He's 38.
38.
38. So he did it 2 seconds.
That's
bloody hell.
Xiaomi, bro. You get Samsung.
Oh, 38. It's not too
you know,
bad.
Yeah, but 38
But
as
it
a
is
welterweight,
pushing it.
you're pretty much at the end of your career. In
Yeah,
terms of
well,
age.
that's it. Unless
So
you're
what
a
I'm saying
heavyweight.
is- but I'm talking about from the suits point of view, the business point of view of, do we really want a 38-year-old giving him the belt? Like, then
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, how are we going to get him? How many fights are you going
You
to
can
have
have,
a year?
yeah.
They want to keep it young and hungry. Like, that's you can see the direction the UFC is taking.
And
Yeah.
mentally, even for Wonderboy, is what reason is he gonna do it? Like,
Yeah.
is he gonna keep fighting these these guys that are coming up and doing stepping stones,
Yeah.
or is he gonna want the big fights, the title fights, the ones that are gonna generate more money? So it's like, what's in it for him? Like now,
Yeah.
he's 38
that's
years old.
interesting.
Well, I think for him, at 38 years old, I'm thinking two things. It's give me that title or I'm retiring.
Yeah.
Like, it's two things, one or the other.
Win the title,
Yeah,
retire.
give me a title shot. But he once again. Another thing is you got to realise with fighting as well. We've had this discussion. Is some guys like to scrap.
Mhm.
Maybe these guys like to fight. So good luck to them. So we'll wait and see. That's a cool. Up and coming. We'll see. So that looks like a good card. I'll be watching that for
Make-
sure. I'm really
make-
excited for
Make
that.
some calls on it. On the top 3.
All right, cool. Let's do it. We might as well call the 3. So I was going to
Yeah.
say 4, but the other one got pulled out. I'm going to go with Stipe.
Yeah, I'm thinking Stipe.
I'm gonna go Francis.
Loves it.
It's
You
a
know what,
hard
he-
one to call though. It's a hard one to
he's-
call.
Him and the boys, they're hype train. Boys.
Love the hype train.
The hype, man. I already know he's going for sugar.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I am as well. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
you know, you guys actually like live through it, so
I'm
you
not
guys
gonna-
understand.
yeah, I
I'm
don't-
watching it from the outside, like
I don't know too much about the guy he's fighting, so I'm gonna go for sugar.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
thinking Sugar probably. I think they've set that up.
yeah.
So,
yeah, I'm sugar. All
but I
day.
mean, see how he handles their leg kicks again. You know, is he gonna just cop one leg kick and then he's
Yeah,
fucked
go-
was
again,
it
or
was
what's
it the
gonna?
leg kick or was it the ankle roll that caused the problem for
Well,
him?
no, but remember,
I think
he
it was
had
a hard
couple
leg kick
fights before
first.
that he had the knee problem. And then now it's the ankle. So who knows? Maybe that leg's compromised and it's
Yeah.
not good anymore. We'll wait and find
Well, if you're
out.
smart, you just go out
No,
and
you
chop
just
out
gotta
that leg.
blast that leg as
Yeah.
hard as you can. You know what I mean? And then what's the other fight?
Woodley and Luque.
I'm going Luque.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Woodley. I reckon Woodley. I reckon
Yeah, I'm
he
going-
just finally comes back.
I'm Sanford boy, Sanford baby. Let's go. Vicente's a good bloke too. I love him. Great,
Yeah,
great guy.
I'm going
great
Vicente
guy.
as well.
So there we go. We've got our top 3 picks. We got only one championship on.
Nah, next event is the TNT on.
Okay,
uh,
there
one
we
on
go.
TNT.
When's Wayne Parr fighting?
He's on the 14th. The 14th to the 20th. I can't remember what. The 21st. He's on one of those April cards. But when we get around to that, we'll
Yeah.
talk about that. So I guess there's no real other news in terms of international stuff. All right, well, let's move on. Let's move
do
on
it.
to the local scene. So we had. Let me get up the card from Eternal because I would
Eternal.
like to know all the names of who fought. I can't even pronounce it even properly, but I'll give
Oh,
it a
that
go.
shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, but that's for like a person who can read. You know, I can't read. You know, I don't read so
I
well.
must say, the standout for me watching that event was the girl.
Yeah, she was class, man. The
yeah.
girl that fought on your card,
Yeah.
and she knocked out that other girl. She was actually really good.
Mm.
Like,
Oh.
we were all sitting here like super impressed. Like, wow.
Yeah, I was curious about that chick because I'd seen there was a lot of hype behind her, and I was like, why is there so much hype? She's only had one fight. Like, what is this all for? Like, I didn't actually watch her first fight, so yeah. But then I was wondering, what's all this hype about? Then next thing I know, she goes out there, and then we're getting the call, oh, the fight's over. I'm like, what happened? Oh, that chick knocked her out.
Yeah,
I
she
was
was
like-
good, man. It was she was composed and she was accurate, man. Every punch she
Selena
threw
Mongi. That's her name.
landed on the chin.
I
yeah.
didn't really. I probably couldn't have enjoyed it as much because I was in the corner with the other chick, and she
Yeah.
was a top bird as well. So,
Yeah.
you know, like when you're in the corner with people, you know, hate
Yeah,
to
I
see
know
them
what you're
lose.
saying. Yeah,
You kind of get a
exactly.
connection with them, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel you 100%. So on the undercard we had Wilson versus Marles. Marles, look at that right. Yeah, look at that right. Marles. Anyway, so Wilson lost. I think he lost on a decision. In the end.
Believe
I think
so.
it went to a decision. And
All
then
I know
you
is the absolute guy won. So I
then
don't
you
know.
had my guy Sel Birdie for Casino Williams. That was a pretty
Casino
cool
Williams.
name. I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
know.
it.
That was a cool name, and that was, you know what, that was an awesome fight, man. Because Sel is a guy who he was fighting for another cause, man. He
Mhm.
wasn't fighting
Yeah.
for to be the next world champion, to be the next big thing. He was
Fighting
fighting,
for a good
purely
cause.
for a good cause, man. Supporting his the people back in Africa.
Yeah.
You know, giving donations. So it was cool, man. Great. What do you call it? Campaign.
Yeah,
you call
definitely
it.
great campaign.
So man,
thing
good
to
on him,
support.
man. You know, and it takes a lot of guts to be a fighter, but B to do it for no gain whatsoever. But like
Just to
you
help
know,
other
yeah,
people
help
out,
other
like,
people.
that's pretty
You've
selfless.
got to give respect to a man, and he
Definitely.
fought like fuck.
Yeah.
But
I
to
love
say
that.
someone dug deep, this guy had to go to the bottom of the barrel to
fuck.
get
and
energy.
then kept going.
Yeah.
Like, man, you don't. Like,
He
did
was
you see
Yeah.
it?
standing.
No,
and he was
I
just
haven't got to watch
like
it back.
he
I could
was-
just hear it, and I'm like, something good is going on out there. Something is
At
happening.
one point, he threw a dig, man, and Casino's ducked there, and he's just like went face first in the cage and
Like,
killed himself.
Fuck, and just
it was
went for it.
he put it all. Like, he laid it all on the line, man, and nothing but respect to that. Unfortunately, he did come up short, but hey,
That's the
that's
fight
the
game.
game, man. And then you had Mongi, who we just spoke about. She beat. I'm not even going to bother with that because it's more than 3 letters.
Rushwelski.
Yeah. If it's
Yeah.
more than 3 letters, they cut me off. They beep.
They're
it
just
out.
like, nah, you can't pronounce it. No good.
Yeah, and she was good, man. Honestly, that Mongi was impressive. So we'll see how far she goes. We'll keep an eye on
Was
that.
it just
Then-
completely one-sided? Just like pretty much touch hands. The other chick was just all over
I
it.
mean, she sort of, it was a bit of moving around, but once Monkey touched there, it was
Just
you could
accurate,
see,
just
boom,
that
boom, boom, boom.
accurate.
Yeah, like you're talking like long, straight punches that were awesome to see. So it was a good fight. And then we had, personally, my favourite fight of the night was my boy, Mr. Cooper, for Volders. I didn't get the first one. What was his name?
Alistair Volders.
Alistair Volders. And you know what, coming out, I've got to say, if you could insert the clip,
Yeah, edit that in later.
Ryan, I got to say, man, like, it was that cool of a walkout. Let me just show you something, because I want to show you, because this is how cool the walkout was. This is how good it was. Ready?
It was such a cool walkout, man.
I got to give him that, man. Like, so that's now on the Spotify playlist for
Yeah.
Ryan. I was like, that's a sick song, cool walkout. You looked awesome. Talk us through it, Ryan. Tell us about it. Tell us about you know what? Tell us about the whole entire thing, man. Tell us about your camp. Tell us about the flight over, the preparation, because a lot of guys watching want to get to know you, want to get to know an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Tell us. It's just straight off the bat, off his fight. So tell us, man. Tell us how you went into this.
So it's an interesting camp for this one. So originally I was meant to fight on the Diamondback Apex card. So that was, what was that? That was like 4 weeks ago. So like 4 weeks before that, preparing for that, that's when the camp started. Preparing for that, good fight camp, feeling great. 8 days out, get a call. Look, we've had to cancel your fight. Some things have happened. You know, we've had to shift things around because of COVID. So, you know, I was pretty down about that. I was like, oh, fuck, like it's been so long. I really wanted to fight.
Can I just say quickly too, and I've got to give respect to Ryan too, because it wasn't just a cancelled fight. His fight actually got taken off of him and given to someone else.
Yeah.
And to tell the truth, even as an outsider looking in, I was a bit like lost motivation for you.
Yeah.
But to Ryan's credit, man, he just stuck at it, man. Nothing changed. So you know,
Did you get a reason why you got taken off?
Well, so what happened is they had an amateur title fight in the same weight division, and one of the guys that was coming over from interstate, that was coming over from Melbourne, I think there was a
the
COVID case happened. They had was it like a small lockdown or something? Whatever it was, that guy couldn't come in. So what they've done is they've given the title fight, my fighter, the guy that I was meant to fight, got given to...
the same weight division, they just said, look...
Which I understand, you know, the title fight, it's more interesting, sells more tickets. It's fair enough. It's business at the end of the day.
I get it.
It sucks, but it's
No, it
business,
does,
and that's the fight game.
Yeah. So
You know what
so
I mean?
that happened, and then you went...
So pretty much what what was it? I reckon it was my last like harder training session. I just finished up last light sparring. So we're like 8 days out. We're just doing like movement stuff. We're not hitting each other hard. I feel good. I'm ready to go. And then Nick calls me over. He's like, "Oh, just come into the office for a second." And just straight away, I knew something was up. Like I've been there before. It's happened before. And I'm like, "Fuck, something good's not happened." And then he's just pulled me in the office and he's, "Look, this is what's happened." And I'm just like, for fuck's sake. Like all this time, all this work. It's been like a year since I fought. Fuck, what do I do? And then but it wasn't definite that it was going to get cancelled because like they still had to work it out with the other teams and whatnot. But I was in this weird headspace. I'm like, am I fighting? Am I not fighting? Like, what's going on? And then I got the call the next day that, you know, definitely it's off. And I'm like, fuck, what do I do now? Like, I was emotional. I was all over the place. And then
that's why I wanted to highlight that point, because not as the fans probably listening in, they're going, "Oh, so what? It's just a game, like it's a change of the day." But it's a huge thing in the fight thing, because you're like, I've just sacrificed so much, and now I might not even be fighting, and that's why I got to give you credit, because you never changed like your attitude. It was like, nah, full steam ahead, like no matter what's coming.
Pretty much what happened is like I think it was literally the next day. I was like, well, fuck, I still want to fight. So I started doing it. Like I started combing through Facebook. I'm looking up local promotions. Trying to remember what it's called over there, Coastal Combat, Eternal. I'm looking for anything of like upcoming events, and I see them posting, looking for fighters, and I just start screenshot, send them to Nick. I'm like, get me a fight. And I'm thinking, you know, like, all right, maybe I'll hear back in a day, maybe a day or 2 or 3 days, like maybe we'll get an offer or something. Literally that night,
awesome.
Nick's like, "Oh, we got you something on Eternal." I was like, "Oh fuck, okay."
Yeah,
like,
awesome.
I didn't think it was going to happen that quick. And it was
that's
just so hard to kind of shift from I'm fighting this dude to, all right, that's not happening. Now I'm fighting this other guy. It took me about 2 or 3 days, and then boom, I'm like, all right, fighting this guy on Eternal. Let's do it. Let's go full steam ahead. And I mean, the camp was great. we got a lot of good work in. Like I'd end up picking up a lot of extra sessions with Lee, just really trying to drill in that nice, good footwork, just the basics, working a lot of basics, you know. I think we did it pretty good for like taking the fight on, I think 3 or 4 weeks notice.
Yeah.
Camp felt good. Weight cut was good. I was in a pretty good position because obviously, you know, being eight days out from a fight already, I'd already had my weight pretty low.
Yeah.
So I just had to maintain that. And then, yeah, weight was good. Flight over was good. Got there. I'm just trying to remember. We got there, what was it, Wednesday morning?
You fought Friday, flew in Wednesday?
Yeah, flew in Wednesday, fought Friday night. Had the weigh-ins early on Thursday morning. That was great. Early weigh-ins are the best.
Yeah.
Because I had a nice, what was it, like 30 hours or something between the weigh-ins and the fight.
You weigh in at 11?
Yeah, 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. So what did you fight at about 7 o'clock?
7:30.
Yeah, so you
it
would
was
have
perfect.
over 30 hours. Yeah, nice.
But the funny thing about the weight cut was like, and we detailed this doing the Nick's podcast, the Batphone podcast. Shout out to that. We did a nice insight of like behind the scenes of what was going on. But the funny thing is, we woke up that morning and I checked Nick's scales, which were pretty accurate. Like I tested them with a couple of like bottles of water just to see how accurate they were. Pretty much on point. I jump on those scales and they're like, perfectly on weight. And this was at like, I think it was like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. So I'm like, I'm good. I'm in a good spot.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, because of COVID, we had to book into the sauna. So we booked in for 8 o'clock just in case. Went down there, checked my weight again. I was still in a good place, like on weight. So I'm like, I don't need to worry about it. So we like even made a joke about it. Like Nick just jumped in the sauna for me. Like, you know, he had a sauna session. We all had a laugh.
The photo.
And then we went back to the hotel room. And then I think it got to like 10 o'clock. It was about 10:15. And I said to Nick, I'm like, I wouldn't mind just jumping on the Eternal scales if we can and just seeing what I weigh on them scales just to be sure. And like usually, like if you're good on your scales, you're definitely all good on their scales because they always seem to be a little bit under.
Heavy,
yeah, it always just seems to work out that way. Anyway, 10:15, I jump on their scales because the weigh-ins area is like right next to our hotel.
Yeah.
Like it's just, you go down into the lobby, it's just over there to Southport Sharks, it's right there. Jump on their scales, I'm 200 grams over. And I'm thinking, fuck, are you serious? Like, am I going to be that guy that's just, you know, come in, miss weight? Like, after doing everything right, just by making a little mistake. Yeah. So I've just like where the weigh-ins were, like right around the corner was the sauna. So I've just jumped in there. And I think there was like another guy in there. So I've just started shadow boxing, just trying to get a sweat up because I was freaking out. Like,
yeah, you do. Because
I want to be that guy.
As a fighter, it's one of the most tense periods is that weigh-in day. Because you're like, I have done everything to the like gram, everything perfect, and you're just so scared to step on those scales and it tells you the wrong number
because you don't want to be unprofessional.
Yeah, that's it too. You don't want to be disrespectful to your opponent, and B,
exactly, because they've made the effort to make the weight, so it's nothing more disrespectful than not making the weight, not trying to make the weight. So I was in there like just trying to really get that sweat up, and like I remember jumping out and like. I think almost actually like I felt pretty faint for a second because I was just so like so worked up because I was like, fuck, like we need to rush, like we're gonna be late to the weigh-ins. Like,
oh sorry, because I'm thinking I was like, what are you rushing for? You're weighing in at 6 o'clock, but
because it was at 11. Minutes, so sorry, like we got there at 10:15 to check, just to double check on the scales. So I didn't have, and the weigh-in started about 10:45, so I only had half an hour to quickly cut that weight, which is not a lot, 200 grams. Yeah. But it was like I was sitting in the sauna. It was stressful, and it was just taking a while to get sweating. Like I'd been in there for like 10 minutes, nothing's really happening. I'm like, fuck, like, am I going to miss weight? Like, you know, like, of course I was going to miss weight, but all those things go through your mind. You start freaking out, you know. And then we made it, got there at 15:15. Like we had plenty of time. It was all good. Jumped on the scales, and I think I was like 66.1, which was 200 grams under what I needed to be. Yeah, so we're all good. We're all fine. Felt good, rehydrated well. Then we did the ceremonial weigh-ins. Felt good. I mean, like normally, really nervous. Like I'm just like nervous. Sit there and I look over at my opponent. I'm like, oh fuck. This time I just felt good. I was just composed, comfortable.
This is what, your 7th fight now?
Yeah, it was my 7th one. I just felt comfortable, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm not usually this comfortable. Even like when I face off with someone, usually I feel a bit tense. I was just like, not like I was overlooking them, but I wasn't super scared or anything. Like I was just comfortable, like weighed in, faced off, had a smile, put me glasses on, you know, did the whole thing. It was all good. And then we would do went and got sushi, you know.
What is your after weigh-in meal? What do you eat? What you go
So
to?
normally I've got 3 shakes. I finish them off, 3 rehydration shakes. They've got a number of different things in them, and then I go sushi. I just try and keep it like a plain,
simple carbs.
Simple carbs, protein. Get that in, have that, and then an hour later, like normally, with the hotel, like we'll have a kitchenette or a microwave or something, so I can cook my own food. Didn't have it this time around.
Just quickly, Brian is a qualified chef.
Yeah, so I can cook a couple of things. You know, I know how to make some eggs. You know,
some baked beans.
Baked beans. You know, whatever you need. But yeah, so then normally I'll make my food myself. Like I'll just cook chicken and rice, keep it simple, maybe a bit of fruit on there, a bit of peach. Probably sounds weird to some people, but it actually tastes pretty good.
What did you say?
Bit of peach
on your rice.
So I have chicken and rice. And then I'll make like a little salsa with like the peach, you know, a little bit of olive oil, a bit of lime juice,
I trust him. He's a shit.
You know, a bit of coriander. You got some micronutrients in there and whatnot. You know, do a bit of that. Then an hour later, have the same thing again. And then my last meal, nice big bowl of yogurt, peanut butter, a little bit of like tiny bit of dark chocolate. None of that Cadbury shit. Just a bit of dark chocolate, a bit of honey.
So you're just getting good, solid, nutrition.
You're trying to get your carbs in, your protein,
but as clean and as best as possible.
Yeah,
You're not going through like a sandwich for your carbs. You're going through the rice and straight to your protein with your chickens and whatnot.
You'd be surprised at what some people are having after the weigh-ins. Like
Okay.
some.
When Tony, back in the day,
let's go back in the day.
Well,
what did
let
you
me
have?
just say this: there was probably minimal fights that I didn't throw up like after the
because you
meal.
You
I
can't
would
do
just
that.
stuff my face.
You get
so
bloated.
Much food, man. I'd be vomiting every time I'd be like, I'm not gonna do it next time.
Was it
But what
the Perth fight that night? You said you had food like clogged up your head. You had to go for a walk, and then you were like,
I vomited.
I've only had that.
Why?
Yeah.
I've only had that once. When the last meal of the night, I just smashed it, and I was just like laying there bloated for like an hour or something. That was before my Steve Brown fight. I was just like, oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
Did everything right until that last meal.
Because the problem is, as a fighter, like you're on your own in your head. Like it's just this battle in your head, and you know I'm eating a lot of food, because I'm like, man, if I don't eat all this food, I'm not gonna have enough energy. And you know, as you mature as a fighter, you realize but I train like all year round on that much food. Like, why all of a sudden do I need double 3 times the amount? And as you start to logically comprehend that stuff, you're like, man, I'm a moron. I have to admit, and these guys would always, they would actually, all of them would tell me off. And me being an egotistical wanker, I'd be like,
I'm not surprised there. Fuck you, do what I want.
So I'd eat more just to piss
them off.
Then you like ice creams, and I'm like,
I was about to say, what were you eating? What were you eating back in the day? No, I do want to know. I'm curious.
Just the heaps, just as much as of pasta, pizza, ice cream, as much as I could get, lollies, protein bars, drinks. I just when I say drinks.
The night before, he's always just stuffing his face. He's always just chewing.
Even now, now, are you eating better shit now?
Now I eat a super good clean diet. I will admit my last fight, and I sort of do blame Anglar for this. He bought me a burger, and I was like, don't eat it, don't eat it. And as soon as I grabbed them, I took that first bite. I was like, here we go. And I just started smashing everything, and and I admit my performance lacked in my last fight, because I feel like I could have fought even better, but I fucked up on that game day nutrition. And as fighters, as we mature, we learn these things. So as you can say, you sound like you got it down pat. You know what I mean? And you're doing a good job. So you're at your meal. So you had your yoga.
Yeah. So for me, what I've learned now is it doesn't stop after you make weight. It's not like, all right, I can go have pancakes and I can do it. Some people do, and hey, I saw some guys on that card that did have pancakes, and then they went on to have really good fights and win. But doing that, are you really giving yourself the best chance? Yeah, some people are doing it, they're still winning, sure, but why not do all the little things?
No, I know what you're saying, and I agree with you totally. Because there's some guys who might have a beer before. I've seen some blokes smoke joints before they fight, and I'm with you. Look, but I just say,
if you're Paulo Costa, have a full bottle.
Too many wines.
That's only when you lose. That's only when you lose. You drink the bottle of wine. What a tool. And that's how he pulled out his next fight. Yeah, he's finished.
Fuck him.
Well, if I could give any advice to any young fighter, and I give it to you guys often, is, hey boys, you can have your pizzas and your pastas and your pancakes and your ice cream, and you'll get away with it. But eventually, you're gonna have to stand in front of a guy like Kamaru Usman, and Kamaru Usman's never cut a corner. So now you're standing in front of him, eating your little ice cream, while Kamaru Usman's over there eating the best food he can get into his body. And come game day, when you get your head smashed in, don't be upset. That's the difference. You gotta stop comparing yourself, you know, to the lowest level guy. You gotta compare yourself to the highest level guy, because you know that's where we want to get to.
Yeah, like why wait to put those good things into practice? Why wait till you get to the UFC to start? Oh, now I should start eating properly. Now I should start doing the right things. Make those habits now. Do everything that you can possibly do now. Like why not? Like do it now.
100%,
get those good habits built now.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I mean? It's showing in you as a fighter. Like you're progressing so far and so quick as a fighter. You know, from this fighter, I was super impressed, man. Yeah, you put that whole fight together well. You know, you showed.
Could have been better, but
you know, I mean, of course, we're always going to even when you win, you're going to criticize yourself. But at the end of the day, you come in as a complete package. Yeah, you know, I mean, you really do. You come in, you can wrestle, you can grapple, you can strike. You know, you come in, you make weight. You know, you put on a bit of a show and you walk out. You've got it all together, man. At the end of the day, none of us are guaranteed a win or a loss. You know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? And I just want to get, you know, I spoke to you the night after. I won't get too much into it on here, but you know what I mean? I was very impressed, and I was super proud of you, what you did. You know, regardless of the outcome, and you know, and you know, so you've had your yogurt. Keep going, because I want to follow here fully.
Yogurt.
I mean, about the whole thing.
It was hard to get to, by the time I had my yogurt, had all that, I think, so normally that's my last meal before bed, but because the weigh-ins were earlier, that would have been, I had that meal in the afternoon. That's how, the timeline kind of played out. So I had that, did a little hit out with Lee, did a little bit of, light grappling with Nick, more just, feeling certain things, feeling a bit of tension, just feeling a bit of stuff, and then we just had heaps of time to kill. Yeah. I'm just fuck, we got, another 6, 7 hours.
And is this still Thursday?
Yeah, this is still Thursday. We still had another. We did that little hit out about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, well, what do we do now? Just got time to kill. So we just kind of sat around the hotel room. I was just trying not to expend too much energy, because I'm that kind of person that without even realizing I'll go for a walk. Yeah. And I've been walking for 40 minutes, and then it's why my legs are tired the day of the fight. So I was just all right, sit put. I ended up actually watching this podcast that night just to try and kill some time, you know. It was good. It was inspiring to listen to the stories of all you guys and the different things you've gone through. Definitely especially Robbie, you know, how he was an accountant and then he's fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to do what I want to do. Yeah. I love that shit, you know. He had the perfect, I guess, I don't know, the perfect job, but a good job.
Yeah, according to the system, he was in a great position. Why would you leave it?
Exactly.
Because he didn't feel happy, and he was like, "No."
And I love that.
He's going to clip that part out and put it on his story.
Yeah. But good on him. I love that shit though. You know what I mean?
And honestly, that's the reason behind the show. Before we get too far off topic, this is the reason behind the show.
Sorry.
No, but you know what I mean. Just quickly, I just want to say this is the biggest reason, because we're all living in a battle. We're all. Yeah. We're not all like me and you. You know, fighting isn't the thing that is.
We've all got our different fights.
That's what drives us. That's what drives you and I. That's why we get up every day, and that's why I like to talk to guys and even Rick, man, he's an inspiring guy.
Exactly.
I've watched him for years, you know, with his you know, photography work, his videography work, and man, like I said, hey, we're the same. You know, we're not always getting paid the big bucks to do this shit, but we do it because we love it.
Exactly.
We do what we do because we love it, and Robbie showed you right there, man. I gave up accounting because I love dancing.
Exactly.
I wanted to chase that dream, and that's it, man. Respect, and you have to respect someone who has the guts to do that.
How can you not?
You know, that's why I want to get that message out there to people, and you know that's why I love this show. But
but before, during your camp, you were obviously tossing, because being a chef, I'm assuming you're around the clock. Yeah. How was it trying to toss up between everything?
Oh, just trying to work out my schedule can be challenging sometimes.
Can you tell me how many hours are you working? Say, for your last 2 weeks before your flight, how many hours are you doing of work?
That is a good question, because so normally my job at Froth and Fodder, I only work 3 days a week. It works out really well. Plenty of time to train, you know, plenty of time to do everything else I need to do and study. But then I think it was in the last 2 weeks, I ended up working because I needed to get, you know, a little bit of cash behind me. Because obviously I don't get paid to fight. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I take that time off my own back. I think I worked 12, 13 days straight, just over 3 different places, because you got to do it. So I worked 3 days at my normal job, helped out at a cafe in Blackwood, And then I think it was the Adelaide Cup.
Yeah.
So I went and helped out the race course there. So I was just worked like, 12, 13 days straight or something, just because I need to get the money.
Yeah.
Like,
And
so it could have been
and
like 50, 60 hours
and
over
the
the
reason
week.
why I bring that up is because, man, it's like, you know, that's stuff that's untold.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. People watch, you know, everyone that we watch, not even fighters, everything. They watch it via the Instagram where you're only ever showing your best days, you know, what you did on a fun day. But
Yeah.
people aren't seeing that Ryan Cooper is an amateur fighter about to fly to the Gold Coast, worked 13 days in a row, you know, to fight a guy and for no money.
For no-
He's
yeah,
going over there
exactly.
for free to fight. And, you know, once again, what is that drives you to do that is passion.
Exactly.
The passion, man. You know, the love for your sport, the love for what you do. And, you know, I've got nothing but respect for people like yourself.
Yeah.
You know, especially fighters and you know, anyone who's fighting a similar battle.
Yeah.
You know, so nothing but respect for that. So you've you know, like you said, you've had a fair bit of time to kill. So what did you end up doing? Just chilling?
We just, chilling that night. And then what was the next day? I think I got up, I think I woke up at like 6 o'clock and I'm like, fuck, we got so long to the fight. So just tried to stay in bed as long as I could. I think just, what did I do? I ended up going down somewhere, getting a coffee, got a donut, but didn't eat it. I was like, all right, that is for after the fight. I was looking at it, I'm like, I want to eat you now, but I'm like, I just like kept it in his little box, went somewhere for breakfast, had a nice little meal with Lee, and then went back to the hotel, put that donut in the fridge, and I'm like, I'm gonna get you later, you know. But I'm trying to remember what else we did that day. I think we had like a little hit out at like 11 o'clock.
So this is the day of fight?
The day of, sorry,
Yeah,
day of the fight.
Yeah.
Had a hit out at 11 o'clock, and then I think Lee went off to
How
do
are you
something.
feeling at this point mentally? How
Mentally
are you feeling?
how was I feeling? I was feeling pretty good. Like the whole time over there, I was feeling pretty composed, and I was like, it felt weird that I felt composed. I'm
Yeah.
like, why do I feel so comfortable?
Yeah.
But then as we're getting closer to the fight, you know, the nerves start kicking in.
Yeah.
As anyone that fights will know, they start coming up, and you know, sometimes they don't go away.
Yeah, it's funny that in the fight game, because it's like, even you're saying that you're feeling more comfortable than ever, but really you're not, because you wake up at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Why do you know?
Or I
why-
normally wake up early.
Yeah.
I normally
Okay,
wake
you
up
know,
early. 'cause-
and I will say that because it's weird, because I'm like, you feel comfortable, but it's like your body knows.
Yeah.
And it's like your head's trying to trick your body. Like, no, we're cool, man. We're not.
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
this." And I'm like, you know, that's why I always wear my heart rate monitor. I check my heart, man, because I'm like, you know.
That's interesting.
You know,
That's good to
that
see.
sort of stuff. And you want to know what's going on in your body, because it's weird that the last 3-4 weeks before a fight, man, you can't get a good night's sleep. You know what I mean? Like,
You
you're
got so
constantly
much on your mind.
stressing,
I'm constantly
yeah.
like, I'm an overthinker. I'm
Yeah.
a massive overthinker, as you know. Like I
Analyze.
overanalyze everything, like every situation. Like probably in the week of the fight, every night I'm going to bed, I'm thinking about every situation. I'm like, what if I throw this punch? What if I
Yeah.
throw that punch? What if I throw this kick? What if he hits me with this? What if we're in this submission? Like literally everything in the fight was going through my head. Winning, losing, what I'd say if I won, what would happen if he won. Like so much.
Yeah,
I
you do.
overthink. Yeah,
And-
it's
but-
just insane.
And in saying that, I'm going to openly, say as well, man, I'm in the same position. And I'm
Yeah.
sure Rick, when he goes to soccer, you know what I mean? They're overthinking everything. Like,
Yeah.
you know, when it's his passion,
Oh, of course.
I'm sure Rick is in a similar state of mind.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult as a fighter because, A, it's already so publicised. B, we have to act like the biggest macho man ever. And C, man, like, we're all in this all by ourselves. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So that's what makes it so hard. Like, I can't turn around to Rick and be like, bro, I'm fucking shit myself. Rick's going to look at me and go, uh-oh, what are we going to do?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is you can't-
Play tough. I'm going to look at him and go, no.
you
we're
can't
not ready,
voice that.
man. Yeah. And it wasn't until for me that I sat down and watched George St. Pierre on Joe Rogan, and when he said that, he's like, I'm so scared when I fight. I
Yeah.
was like, oh man, like you felt like the biggest weight
Weight's
off my
been
shoulders.
lifted, yeah.
Like if George St. Pierre is scared, like of course.
Well, you know what he said
you know?
recently? Like,
yeah, on the Rule London one.
yeah. That he hated fighting.
Yeah. They said the same thing on Joe Rogan. He goes,
Yeah.
because I honestly, I hate fighting. I hate it. I don't like fighting.
it.
Violence to me is like, no, but as in, I love fighting. I love the game. I love doing it. But when you're like, if you said to me,
I hate the
like,
build up.
Yeah, the build up. That's what I mean. Like when I've a minute or two before I got to walk out, I'm going, oh man, like, what the fuck am I doing back here? Like, how did I get here? I promised myself I wouldn't do it again.
Exactly.
But, you know, once you get out there, it's you know, it's worth every second of it, man. You love it, you know, whether you win or lose, man. And I've been on both sides of that fence, man. And either way, you love it. You still lay there and you're like, man, I wouldn't do nothing else, you know.
So, yeah, going back to the fight day, I don't remember too much else what we did. I probably just sat around in the hotel too much because I was, again, trying to just conserve that energy.
Just chill and relax.
Just chill, relax. And, you know, I'm feeling good most of the time, but the nerves, they're slowly creeping up. Then we drive to the venue. Nerves are getting a little bit more. But I still, you know, felt all right, felt composed. Got to the venue, checked it out. You know, what I tried to do was, like I found out where our change room was. And then I tried to find out where, like, exactly would be, like, waiting when they call, like, you know, when they pull you out of the change room, like, where you wait before you go out. So what I did is, like, I found out where that was and, like, did a little walk. So I walked from there, walked out through the stage, and just kind of, like, tried to play through what I'd be doing later, like the walkout. Like, I was just trying to mimic that and just do that a few times. Yeah, so I was familiar. I like to familiarize myself with shit. Yeah. So I did that, you know, walked in the cage, got a good feel of the cage, just put my back up against each cage wall just to see what it felt like. Did all that. What was it? I think we had the rules meeting. That was all chill. But then, the nerves started creeping up. Like, I'm getting my hands wrapped, and I'm like, I'm feeling nerves. I'm like, fuck, it's starting to hit me. Like, and then we find out, like, I think there was only 4 fights, so we didn't really have that much time to warm up. I started warming up, and then the nerves are just hitting even more. Like, I'm just really, really feeling it. I'm like, fuck, where did this come from? Like, I was so composed before, and now I'm just like, the nerves are just like killing me. I'm like, fucking these go away. So I'm trying to warm up a bit, then you know, we started moving around, started shadow boxing, nerves would go away. But then as soon as I'd have that, like, 30 seconds break between my next, whatever I was doing next, nerves would come back again. And they just kind of kept coming back and forward.
Can I quickly just cut in there? Because isn't it funny that your nerves set in when your body stops working? Like, it's funny as a fighter, and I guess as even as any sort of, you know what I mean? Like, when you're in your element, it's fine. Yeah. But as soon as you got a second just to sit down and think about it, like, oh, man. Then as soon as you get going again, it goes away again. I find that to be a very strange phenomenon there, because, you know, it's funny that he's saying that as soon as he's warm, he feels great. And as soon as he sits down, it's like, especially as a fighter, it's like you're in a constant battle with yourself.
Oh,
you know,
definitely.
It's an argument between your body. One saying, don't do it, one saying, do it. You know, it's like a devil and an angel on your shoulder.
I think with me, we just got to figure out the perfect way to warm me up. Because we've tried a few different things because, you know, I'm notorious for starting a bit slow. So we try and get it so I've worked really hard, so I almost feel like I've had a round before I go out there. So what we try to do is, like, mimic that by, like, working really hard for, like, a minute or two, and then get me to, like, calm down and relax as if I was, like, sitting in my corner. Then work really hard, and then cool down. And that kind of did work, but the only problem was every time I sat down, it was like I went from that kill mode, and then the nerves started creeping back in, and the thoughts start coming back in your head, and, like, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You get some real dark thoughts.
Yeah,
like,
you do, of course, because you're in a moment of just such. You can't even describe it. You couldn't even, like.
I will. Like, I'll be openly honest. Like, I'm next up, so we're waiting in the wings, kind of thing. Like, because what they do is, like, when the fight before you's on, they get you to wait in the wings so they can just get you to go straight away. And then, you know, the nerves are sort of, like, still there, and, like, the dark thoughts start creeping in. They're like. And I'll be honest, and, like, you know, I'm sure there's other people that might feel like this, and they probably wouldn't be honest about. I've got some real dark thoughts, like, do I really want to be here?
Yeah, no.
Do I really want to fight right now? And I'm like, maybe I can just, like, maybe if he hits me with a good body shot, I'll just, like, crumble and just go with it, and, you know, that's it. I'm done. I don't have to fight. Yeah. And then I'm like, no, like, you're not fucking doing that. Like, you're not a bitch. Like, what are you doing? And then, like, the one thing that kind of helped me, there was, like, this one thing that was really helping me kind of, like, push through, and it's like. There's one thing you said earlier to me that day, because you called me in the afternoon and we had a good chat. And the one thing you said that stuck in my head was fight like fuck. Yeah. Fight like fuck. And that was just one thing that stuck in my head. And then, so the fight before me is over. We go behind the curtain and I'm still feeling a bit nervous. Lee slaps me. It didn't do enough. Like,
the Lee Check's favourite.
Like,
getting old.
It helped. It helped. But, like, it just wasn't enough. It kind of got me halfway there. Yeah. But then something happened. As soon as, like, my song came on,
it is, man.
Boom! It was like I was just like I was in the zone.
Yeah, it's the best way to describe it. Not that I.
But I've never felt it like that before.
It's like a drug. It's like a drug, and it's like, oh fucking here it is, man. Like
Straight up, that is how it was. Like,
like I'm actually getting goosebumps thinking about it,
like,
man. Like,
just as soon
you
as
know,
that song hit, like, because I haven't walked out to that song before.
Yeah.
But
It was
as soon as it went out, I was just like, boom.
Yeah.
And I just went with it, and I just started, I was like, fuck it.
You just became Ryan.
Yeah, and
no, you know what? Ryan went away, and Ryan Cooper, the fighter, came out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My authentic self came out. I was just like, because normally you try and be all like tough and serious as you're walking out, and then I'm just like, I just went with what I felt, and I just started dancing and shit. People might have looked at it like, oh, this guy's a cocky dickhead, but fuck you, I don't care.
This
I
is
don't care.
This is
I was
your
just
moment.
feeling it.
This is your moment, man.
The only thing that was upset me though is like the ring girl. You got to follow her and you got to do the lap.
I don't want to bring up the ring girls. Annalise might tell me off.
No, but like, like she's doing her job, so I can't give her a shit. But like, she was just walking a little bit slow, and I wanted to like run to the cage. I was just feeling the energy. I wanted to run, and then she's just taking her time. So I'm sort of like behind her, kind of dancing. I'm like, come on, let's go. Like, I want to get in there and fucking fight. Let's go. And then we get to the cage, do all the bullshit, like Vass, whatever. And then, I'm still got all that kind of energy. Like, I'm still feeling myself. So I did like a fucking front flip or something.
I like that. I like
forward
that.
roll. I was just like, fuck it. Go for it.
The Sambo roll. I like that.
Yeah. And then, but then, and then I think Nick comes over. Like, they sit in the corner. And then I'm just like, I remember he walks out. He can't, like, he's standing across from me. And then I remember looking at Nick and I'm like, fight like fuck.
Yeah.
And then it was weird because normally they bring us to the center. They bring you to the center. Yeah. They do whatever instructions. And then they... you touch gloves quickly, you pull you apart, and then touch gloves. But they didn't do that. They kind of just had a quick word to us both, and then, fight started, and we touched gloves. But yeah, like...
Do you feel that threw you off in any way?
A tiny bit. I get thrown off by little things.
Yeah, because it is. It's like you just said a minute ago. You like to familiarise yourself with every process.
Yeah.
And it's probably a process you're so used to, and then when it didn't happen, I'm not saying that, this could have been the difference between a win and loss, but it was like, it does. It feels like, oh, shit, like, what happened? Like, why don't we do? Oh, okay, we're going. You know what I mean?
And yeah, so it was kind of weird. But then, the biggest difference in this one was, I think Lee said it best. Is like I didn't feel as erratic. Like my first fight when I came out, like everything was sort of like erratic. It was just like, I guess it was like the adrenaline. Like everything felt so full on. But like, the more I've fought, the more I kind of guess I feel more composed. But it scares me because I'm like, should I be feeling this composed? Like. So I'm walking out, like, as soon as I'm in the cage, I'm, like, aware of everything. And I'm like, should I be feeling like this? Like, I feel good, but, like, shouldn't I be feeling a bit more hyped up? So it was weird. So it was almost like I was composed and comfortable, but I was worried because I was feeling that way. I know that kind of sounds weird. Yeah, the little doubt creeps in.
You're in a chaotic moment and you're going, I know it's chaos and everyone around you knows it's chaos, but I feel like it's just, like, normal.
Yeah. And then I'm like, is that a bad thing? And then a little bit of self-doubt, I guess. And then I remember touching gloves, and then it was a bit of a blur. And I guess all I remember feeling is I'm like, I just didn't switch on as quick as I wanted to. Like, I remember the first exchange. I was like, I want to go to the leg kick early. Like, I really want to put damage on that leg. I really want to work that over. So I think I don't know if I threw punches before it. Can't really remember. But I remember throwing that leg kick, and he did the exact same thing. Then I threw another one. He did the same thing. I'm like, fuck, like, he's doing what I'm doing. I'm like, fucking hell. And then I think I threw like 3 or 4 because I was like, no, leg kicks is my thing. And then I think we just exchanged a couple of leg kicks back. And then I don't remember too much else from the first round. I feel like he might have had it over me. Like, I don't really remember. Like, I have to watch it back.
Yeah.
I remember little clips from the fight. I remember the first round was over and I was like, fuck, that was tough. That was hard. Second round, I felt like I was coming back in certain things. Like, I think I got a takedown.
Yeah,
again, I'll have to look it back.
I
don't know when certain things happened.
To me, it was a striking battle, and he threw more.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
That's what I think might have won him the first.
Yeah, and I understand
then
that.
The second round, it was striking to grappling.
Yeah.
And the problem was in the first round, he held it for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Then by the second round, he could only do it for a minute. And then I believe you took over the last 2 minutes. And I feel like the thing that might have tipped the judges in giving him the round, I personally scored it, you win. Honestly, I did. I'm not just saying that because you're here. I said I think Ryan's won this fight. But I think the thing that won it, that they gave maybe him in the second, was that when he done that Kimura sweep, which wasn't a sweep in a sense because it was just a constant rolling battle. And I don't see how they could score it. But hey, that's them.
Hey, that frustrated me because like I didn't. How do I put it? Like, I didn't really feel in danger.
Yeah.
Like I
But you weren't in
was
danger.
like, my arm is probably not in a good position. Like, this is probably not good, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, should I, like, maybe I'm gonna have to tap soon. And I'm like, well, I'm not feeling any pain.
Yeah.
Like, if there's no pressure, I'm good. And then I'm
Yeah.
like, and then in my head, I'm like thinking, fuck, this probably looks really bad to the judges. This is gonna fuck me over.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, those little things do.
Yeah, they do. And
You don't have health bars. You don't have health bars. They can't tell how you're feeling.
And you know what I mean?
They go by what they see.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what might have like tipped it. That's why they.
And
gave
I
it to
understand
him.
that.
You know what I mean? And that's something to go back. But then in the third, you came out, man, and you were just it was all.
I can't
Ryan
remember.
Cooper.
Maybe Lee or Nick just said something, but I was just
you,
like,
you looked
come
really
for
good
it.
in the third, man. It was just all one-way traffic, takedown, striking, and there wasn't much that he like that by that third round. Then he only had like 30 seconds in him. He gave that first 30 seconds, and then after that, it was just all you.
Yeah.
Man. And that's why it was so close because it was literally it's down to like, you know, if you looked at the match in say 9 minutes, I believe you won like what's half a 9, 7.5. I believe you won like
Half
8
a
minutes
9.
of it. You know what I mean? I personally,
Yeah.
that's why I gave it to you, but. You know, the judges might have seen it the other way around, but it was a very super close fight. And credit to him, man. He was a good fighter.
Oh, he's a tough kid,
man. You know, and you boys went in there and you scrapped, man. And honestly, you made an awesome representation of yourself, man. I was nothing but proud of you, dude. Like when I seen you do what you do, and you know, I know you as a friend. I know you as a teammate. I know you as a person, and I just see like the amount of growth you've made over the last year or two has been phenomenal, man. And it's awesome. And like I said to you over the phone. You're not only now Ryan Cooper, an MMA fighter, but you also like to me. I can see a lot of the boys in the gym. They look up to you.
Oh, well,
you know what I mean?
Definitely,
they
nice
do.
thing.
Guys do, and it is. It's an awesome feeling when someone, and I can see the guys looking at you as a role model, a senior guy in the gym, man. And because respect to you, regardless of what records are and titles and names, like how many followers you got on Instagram. Ryan Cooper, man, is a tough, hard-nosed kid who gets in there and has a fucking scrap.
Yeah.
And fights like fuck, and that's what he does, man. And personally, hey, you may not win millions of fans, but from one fighter to another, man.
And I mean, I appreciate that.
Nothing but respect for you.
I think that was one of the that saying there, and like a couple other things was like one of the things that helped me kind of push a little bit. Like that fight, like fuck, that was in my head, and also I was like, well, fuck, I'm probably going to be on the show after this, so I can't have a shit fight. Yeah. I can't come on the show and like I've got like bashed.
We watched it live, man, here at
But you know what I mean? Like I don't want to come on this show like after being bashed and being like, oh, so I kind of got bashed on the weekend, and that's what we're talking about. I'm like, I've got to at least put a good fucking performance
but
forward.
That's exactly what you did, man. You seriously did. Like we were sitting here, we were going crazy for you. The whole place is going nuts for you, man. Because like I said, we were just all so proud of you. We thought you fought awesome. Rick, who's he's a fan of MMA, loves it, man. He sat there and he was loving it. Even his brother, what are we calling him today? Anthony,
the man of many names.
Anthony Lay Smith. I don't even know anymore.
Mr. Blue Tick.
Also, and also has
Blue Tick Lay.
Yeah, we're going in them blue tick packages around or what?
They call him Spike because of his ratings. They just spike every time he's on a show. But and everyone was super proud of you, man.
And it's like even at the end of the third, we all were just saying, finish better, which you did. And then it was just like all of us, man. Once the fight finished, we were just like, what a fucking fight.
Yeah, man. That's it, man.
Well, I think you could see it. Like, I know, like, I probably should have walked around and been like, but like, I was fucked, man. I just sat down, corner, and I think he was tired as. Oh, he told me after he was tired, but we were fucked.
We
put it out there,
man. And it was a good. And that's one thing I got to say. Like, massive shout out to Eternal is they're putting on awesome fights, man.
Exactly.
Like the Jesse Medina fight with that
Jack Jenkins.
Awesome fight, man. Jenkins looked beautiful. Like really good, really sharp.
Medina looked good as well to start off with.
I'm not gonna
lie.
I'm not gonna lie. Medina, when his leg went out, I was like, bro, don't ride Medina off. He'll probably pull a win out. I don't know how, but he'll get it. But
it's funny because I think it was right before I walked out. They gave me a quick interview and they're like, all right, who do you see in the main event? And I said, Jack Jenkins by second round TKO or Jesse Medina fourth round submission.
Wow.
So I think I called it. It was second.
It was a second round TKO. And then who else was on that card?
Sam Hibbert.
That was a beautiful execution from Sam Hibbert. Beautiful, man, just effortless, flawless, man. So great job by him.
Could happen to a better bloke.
Yeah, in all that Eternal Friday night card was awesome, man. You amateurs put it all on the line, shirts. And the thing that I got to say,
Friday night for me, surely. Come on.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I would have to say fight of the night. Yeah, I would personally would have gave to you. It was a 3-round war, man, from start to end. I really thought it was awesome. I felt like the first fight was a bit one-sided. The girls was one-sided. Who was the other fight?
I think there was one other close fight, or like your mate from, is it Cell?
Cell, yeah.
That was close.
But once again,
I didn't watch
feel
it.
like your fight was better. More
Yeah.
skill to display.
Yeah.
Oh, my fight was
Cell
all
was
right.
just like,
Yeah.
he was just
It was true,
out on
grit
his
and
feet.
heart,
It
you
was
know.
just-
But I felt like, yeah, probably fight of the night. I would give to Ryan. Yeah,
Because I feel like we showed like a lot of different things. There was a lot of
Yeah.
striking, a lot of grappling.
and that's one
positions.
thing I
Some
said
of
to
them
you
going
over
for
the
a
phone.
kilo,
I
like-
said you over the phone. I said, you know, like Ryan, you show that you can strike, you show that you can wrestle, you can show you can grapple. So, you know, congratulations to yourself and an awesome like fight. Thanks for coming on our show, man. Like,
Yeah.
you're a legend. You're a living legend. No matter what the world says or thinks, man, you honestly are, man. In my books, you're a champion and a legend, man. No matter what the results are. And, it's an honor to know you. It's an honor to have you on our show. But yeah, it was a good card from Eternal, man. They're doing good things
yeah.
for Australian MMA.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
They look
had
after the fighters.
Yeah, they had an awesome. I gotta say, they had an awesome like weekend. Like they really did. Like even last.
Glad they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, last night was a.
Because they're on Fight Pass on the app. Does that go to the world, or is that just?
Yeah.
So
You can watch Fight Pass from anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So that's
Ryan,
again.
Oh no, Ryan was on the YouTube.
But I mean,
yeah.
see, anyone can
Yeah,
watch
but
that
doesn't
anyway.
matter.
Either way.
That's it. Doesn't matter. So Ryan was on the YouTube. So guys, if you're MMA fans and you like local fighting, get onto Eternal.
Look up the YouTube
That's
channel.
it. They got the YouTube if you want it for free. If you're a tight ass like me, or you can get Fight Pass off a friend like I also do and don't pay for it. Thanks, Stavros. Shout out to you. And watch Fight Pass.
They're gonna shut down his account now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fuck, man. Sorry, Stav. But can I still use your account? Anyway. But yeah, they had their Saturday night card. We'll just quickly run through that because that was also like a really good card for Australian standards. I've got to say, I'm going to just pull the card up if you guys don't mind interacting
No, go for it.
amongst each other.
I remember I think I remember a couple of the fights. I didn't actually watch
So
it.
yeah, Josh Togo versus Dan Hill, which was
I thought Togo was
unfortunately
going to have it.
Yeah, Togo ended up getting submitted in the
rear naked
fourth.
choke.
I think in the
fourth.
fourth
Yeah,
he got
saw
submitted. You had Kit Campbell versus John Fraser.
Yeah, John
which
Fraser
was
won.
fourth round TKO.
Yeah.
And then you had some good fights before it. Sinclair and Cooney. I don't know.
careful how you say
Mumford
that
and
one.
Dims. There was some really good. Like if you're an Australian fight fan,
I'm
there
gonna
were
watch
some
that
awesome
one back.
cards. Yeah, I unfortunately only got to see the undercard.
Yeah.
I've seen the ATT boy. I forget his name. He won by
Hayder.
armbar.
Hayder,
Yeah,
that's
he
right.
won, so shout out to my boys at ATT.
I'm pretty sure he used to fight at bantamweight. Now he's up all the way up at lightweight, and he looks thick
Yeah,
as.
those ATT boys, they'll fight anyone. They don't care.
Oh,
They're
no,
crazy,
man. I love that
shout
shit.
Out,
I love
shout
it.
out to the ATT boys. They run a night called Urban Fight Night. Another
Another good
awesome
promotion.
promotion guys should look up. Hopefully you'll be fighting on that. I'd love to come over. If you fight on Urban Fight Night,
I'll fight on any show, like,
yeah,
you know
okay.
what I mean?
There you go. Suman Ashcan, get my boy Ryan Cooper a fight.
Done.
Yeah, so awesome work by Eternal this weekend. They put on a great card. And yeah,
It was a
Ryan.
good show, man.
Ryan put on a good show.
Yeah. Where do you go from now? You want, because obviously from your last fight you had a year break.
Yeah.
Where do you want to get to?
I just want to stay as active as possible. I didn't want a year break. Like,
Yeah.
not many people, like, obviously COVID fucked everyone.
Mhm.
You know, I mean, a lot of people had it worse than me. But I'm the kind of guy that I think I fight best when I'm consistently fighting. Like, my first year of fighting, I fought 4 times in, 12 months? And, yeah, I had some pretty good results. Like, it's far, like, from what I can remember. So, like, I just want to keep consistent as possible. Like, just whatever comes my way. Like, I mean, what is that? There's M16 Open coming up. They're doing like a jiu-jitsu super fights or whatever show.
Yeah.
Like, the night of the fight, pretty much after my fight, after I talked to you on the phone, I pretty much I had heaps of people to reply to, but I replied to like Adam Jones and Miles, and I was just like, hey man, like if you guys can get me a fight, like a jiu-jitsu fight against anyone, I'm up for it. I don't care who it is.
Well,
like,
and that's any advice.
I just want to stay active,
Yeah, that's
with
advice
whatever
that
I can.
I can give to any of you young fighters, man, is get into the amateur boxing scene, get into the jiu-jitsu scene.
And that's
because,
next as well.
Don't care about wins and losses. Just care about competing, and getting used to it, man. Because there's a massive difference between an armbar in the gym and an armbar on game day. Yeah,
Exactly.
The guy's gonna fight tooth and nail until he gets his arm out of that armbar. Where in the gym, the guy might tap, so you can't be used to just sort of training. And
Well,
then-
I found that when I went for a guillotine, like I feel like I went for a guillotine, had a pretty good bite on it, like could have been close, and then he just quickly rolled out. Like you know, and, like you see the difference when
Yeah.
you're in a fight.
Yeah.
How different
it's a
it is.
million miles an hour. It's a million miles an hour.
People will fight to the death.
Yeah, and I've got
to
say
get out of
that's
something.
one thing that I sort of was lucky enough because I compete, like me and my brothers train together a lot.
Yeah.
And brothers, man,
They're competitive as fuck.
I mean, Rick was lucky enough to be in on some of those.
Yeah.
Me and my brothers, so we'd nearly end up out
They
the road
had
punching
no
on.
courtity for anybody
Yeah.
else in the gym.
I
They were
love it.
just
I love
tumbling
it.
across
Yeah,
the gym. man.
and I feel like that was a massive thing for me because I was able to honestly when I'd roll and they'd be like, "Oh, Sav and Tony, you're together," you get that nerves like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I
let's
know
do
what
it,
you
man.
mean.
Let's
Because you're
fucking
going
do this,
home in
man."
the same car when you're going home.
Yeah, like it was bragging rights.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awesome. So yeah, for you guys, man, I'd love to see you all competing as much as possible. And yeah, I mean,
That's even like before you got into before you became a pro fighter.
can you just hold that thought for 2 seconds? I am fucking dying for a piss.
Get it out, mate. All right, while he's gone, we can
Yeah.
actually talk. So like, so yeah, like I want to keep as active as possible. Obviously, if I can get a match up on that M16 Open, a jiu-jitsu fight, that would be
Yeah.
great. But aside from that, I mean, I want to try and get some amateur boxing fights in. Like, obviously, talk to the coaches, see what they think
Yeah.
is best. But some amateur boxing, amateur kickboxing, just get a bit more striking in it. Get just that little bit more comfortable with the striking. Get a bit more of that in. And then I guess MMA-wise, we're probably like, my record's a bit average, but we're probably looking at going pro because I think I'm just going to have better results in pro being that, it's 3 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Whereas I think I find it hard with 3 3s. I just don't have enough time. Like, I kind of get going in the second round and take over from there. But in an amateur fight, it's too little too late.
Yeah.
You're playing catch up. If you don't finish the guy, you're playing catch up.
Yeah, you're already on the back foot.
So.
So like thinking back to Tony, like before he got into the MMA as a pro,
Yeah.
he was he had done like a whole bunch of jiu-jitsu tournaments. He was you're going into everything and anything that you could get into.
Yeah.
But then by the time you went pros in MMA, you were seasoned. Like
But
you've seen
even
most
then,
things.
even though I was still probably the only time I really took the foot off the pedal big time in how much I was competing was probably maybe a year before I got signed. Like before that, I remember one year I did a jiu-jitsu comp, boxing fight, and an MMA fight all in 1 year. Like I was just trying to do as many competitions as I could to keep on testing myself because I was in that constant battle, like you said, of can I even fucking do this? And I'm this one who's stupid enough to go, you know what, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to throw myself in the deep end constantly and have to be forced to swim
kind of
back
the
up.
mentality I have is just take anything I can get.
Because you won't know until you try.
Exactly.
You really don't know until you've given it a go. And a lot of people, I think, in this world of today, we just count ourselves out. We're our own worst enemy all the time.
Well, I'll tell you right now, like, years ago when I first started training, I was like, fighting would be cool, but I would never do that.
Yeah.
Like, not that I didn't want to, it was just like, I could never see myself being
Like,
actually able to do that.
Because Ryan Cooper, the boy, was saying to Ryan Cooper, the fighter, we can't do that. But like you
Exactly.
said, when your music comes on, the other... Like I talk about this often, it's like a split personality lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like...
It's like when a performer, they always say they got an alter ego.
Yeah.
It's like when they go out there, there's somebody else.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You really, you don't know it until you... that's why podcasts are awesome, because you really get to know people on another level.
Oh, definitely.
That's why...
And I'll be honest as, like, I'm open and honest with what I'm feeling.
because that's what I mean with the podcast. People are so open and a great example was my brother Sav. I never forget, man, when we were young guys, and the first time I ever seen, what passion can do for a person was when we were we were about... maybe 13, and my dad used to make us play at all my cousins' 21st, so we had to play in our band we play at our cousins' most embarrassing thing in the world. And I was on the rhythm, Diego was on the lead, and Sav was on the bass. And I'll never forget, we played, I'm pretty sure it was Back in Black, and we're playing, and just out of nowhere, man, Sav just broke out into this mad bass solo, just started running around in circles in front of my whole family, my cousins, everyone.
I
Me
love
and my
it.
brother Diego just
what's he doing?
What the fuck is that guy doing? And you could just see it in his eyes. It was just passion. Music, it just overtook his body. And it was like, whoa, man, that was crazy. And I said to my brother, why'd you do that? He's like, I don't know.
Just felt it.
I don't know, man.
And I love that.
It came out in me, and I was like, wild, man. And that's why really from that point on, I was like, yeah, there's something crazy about this like thing. And then then I found my passion in fighting, and it was like, yeah, man, like, and it is. We are our own worst enemy because we're too worried about what is he gonna think of us or what is she gonna think of me. You know what I mean? And we're
at the end of the day, fuck what they think.
And that's back to what we were saying about with Robbie and Eddie. Like we're we're adults in our lives where we've got to make ourselves happy. You know
Well,
what I mean?
think it's all about perspective. Like, from my perspective, like, and this may sound silly and people might laugh at me, I'm a winner every day just by
you are
attempting to do this. Like, because like I said, I never thought I'd do it. So just in doing it and putting it myself out there and putting it all on the line, I feel like a winner.
Yeah.
Maybe the results and the record doesn't show for it. Okay, but I feel like a winner just by getting out there and giving it a go because I never thought I'd do it.
And Kelly, that's why I was saying to you before, and it's weird because I know as a fighter, I hate when someone's like, regardless of the result. But that's why I was saying to you, it really is regardless of the result because like
it's all
you
about
just
perspective,
said,
though.
Like when I first started in fighting, man, I was so fucking scared to spar. I used to watch guys spar. Oh man, I'm never gonna do that. And then my brother made me fight. And honestly, my dream in my goal in fighting was to have one fight. One MMA fight, so that one day I can teach, and I don't have to be the wannabes on like, I was gonna be a fighter, but no one fought me because I'm the toughest.
One of those cunts.
One of those full of shit people. I was like, I'm gonna have one fight just to prove to myself, man. I also wanted to prove that jiu-jitsu was that powerful.
Yeah.
And I did it. And now when people ask me, like honestly, they say to me, "Oh Tony, what's your goal in fighting?" I'm like, I've done it.
Yeah,
I really did do it. Like if I win a world title, man, fucking let's play.
That's sick, but I've already done.
Really,
Yeah.
But now my biggest passion is that's why I love having you on is you guys. Honestly, you understand how much you guys inspire me as a fighter. Like I come in that gym and I see you guys, and you're working hard and you're training, and you're aspiring to be something better than you are. And it's exactly why what you said. Not because I want you to be the next Conor McGregor. Not because I want you to be the next Israel Adesanya. Because I want you to be the best Ryan Cooper.
Exactly.
You know, I really want you to enrich your life with what makes you happy. Not what the system told you to do. Not what, get a house, get married, do this, do that, because that's what everyone else is doing. You got to make Ryan Cooper happy, man.
And like I said, through fighting, it's definitely made me a better person.
Yeah.
Like, I tell you, before I started training, I was a piece of shit. Straight up. Like, that's the way I look at it. I look at it as a piece of shit. All I did was, work in kitchens. I'd, work split shifts, 10 till 10. I had no life. After work, I drink beers, go home, my days off, I go get pissed on the weekend, do drugs, do stupid shit, you know what I mean? And if I wasn't doing that, I'd be sitting at home, laying in bed, watching TV all day.
Yeah.
That was my life, and it was fucking woeful.
Yeah.
Then I started training, I started becoming a better person, I wasn't going out, causing trouble, doing bad things, I mean, that change didn't happen straight away, but
over time.
in the progression of training, I become a better person.
That's why, honestly, I openly and I love martial arts, and that's why I do this podcast, because I want this message to get out there as quick as possible. I try to get involved in schools. My own school won't even have me back.
Fuck them,
because the way we're seen. But honestly, I really think martial arts can change people's lives. It really has the ability. That's one reason why I love working with One Championship, because Chatri pushed that message, and that was the reason why I went towards one, because I was like, man,
respect
I love martial arts, man. I do. Like to see that photo of you and your guy, the guy you fought. I love it, man. I'm like, that's.
I mean, we sat there for a good, probably because I talk too much, probably, but because we sat there for probably a good half an hour, just both talking about the fight, our training camps. Just going over everything.
No, that's it, man. It's nothing but respect and honour amongst each other, because in there is no more, bullshit over, hashtagging. You're not being a hashtag hero. You're being a warrior, and he's a warrior.
Exactly.
Even when
there's no one else that understands how you feel more than that guy.
Like for me, it was a hard pill to swallow. The loss, and B, when I lost, man, to go up to Peter and give him my T-shirt. Honestly, it hurt me. But I was like, when I gave it to him, and he shook my hand, and we took a photo together. I was like, you know what, man,
Well, that was the thing. That was the thing after this fight was normally when I've lost before, I'm pretty upset and I've got pretty emotional. But it was weird after this one. I didn't feel that. I guess because I just put it all out there. I really feel like this one, I put it all on the line. I knew that I lost. In my head, again, I'll have to watch it back and see what it looks like. But I felt like I might not have done enough. But I was happy with my performance.
Yeah.
And I kind of said to Nick, I'm like, should I be upset right now? Because I don't really feel upset. I feel like I did what I needed to do, and I just didn't come off.
And that's why I said to you in that phone call.
That's why I called you.
Fight like fuck.
Yeah.
Because when you fight like fuck, if you have done everything in training, you've done everything in your preparation in food and dieting, making weight, you fight well and well to your ability. You know, that's now left. Now, what is the decisions? What is the outcome? Is left to the universe. You, as Ryan, and what you could control, you done it all.
Yeah.
And now you can go away content. It's the guys in this sport and in anything in life. But MMA is a huge thing. Is they like a Jake Paul. That's why I rag on people like that because, mate, you've never done what we've done.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like guys like you, like you just said, you're working 13 days straight. You've had 7 MMA fights, and not a person outside of
and
your
I'm studying as well.
Studying, you know what I mean. But not a person outside of your personal circle is going to know that you're an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
And same with me. I'm signed to one of the biggest organisations in the world, and most people wouldn't even know.
And that's a fucking joke.
They wouldn't even know what one shit, but they know who Jake Paul is, and that's what sickens me.
Most people don't know who Martin is.
Yeah, exactly. Martin Nguyen, you know. He was a 2-weight world champion, you know. What I mean? No one even knows, and that's why I do get passionate. We do get into a bit of a heated debate, him and myself and a few other people. But he agrees with that Jake Paul thing as well. But that's where I get, man, because fighting is no game.
One thing I will say, I do respect. The one thing I respect about Jake Paul and those guys is they obviously had to hustle to get where they are, doing what they do. It's not easy to just be a YouTuber. Anyone can just fucking film a show and put it on YouTube and do whatever. But it's hard work to make it fucking great.
Yeah.
So I respect that.
Yeah.
But then, it just sucks that they can just use that to jump into a fight.
Stay in your fucking lane.
Yeah, and so what I'm saying is, congratulations to Jake Paul.
Yeah,
You've done
of
an
course.
Awesome job. You've built something out of nothing. Well done, mate. I really do. I commend you for that. But what makes me sick is, when people come up to me and they're like, that Jake Paul, that boxer. I'm like, he's not a boxer, man. He's a YouTuber.
That's what.
Because he's taking off your plate and he's taking off your plate.
That's it,
exactly.
Man. He's taking exactly what we've worked for, man. We've hustled our whole lives to get to where we are. And, we're barely getting recognised at the best of times. And now we're being spat on. We're being spat on by a bunch of nobodies, man. And it's
getting all this
unfair.
fucking money to fight, and it's not even.
Yeah, it's not even about
good fights.
Exactly, man.
They're not good fights.
Yeah, I'm happy to pay big bucks to see good fights, man. That's why Israel Adesanya, man. He's probably not even as well known as Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And Israel Adesanya is hands down one of the best combat fighters in the world.
In the world,
man, to have ever walked this universe. So look, that's there's the freedom machine. There it is, man.
There's the weekly freedom machine.
The same car.
I don't know.
He knows.
Yeah, because that's the freedom machines, man. That's what we call them. But hey, we could go on for hours, boys. I think it was an awesome chat. It was awesome to have you on, Ryan. I appreciate you for coming on. And also, just quickly, I want to touch on it. It's a credit to your personality. Ryan just came from the Gold Coast. He lost. He could have easily stayed home. No, I don't want to be there. But Ryan goes, I'm a fucking man.
Yeah.
I went out there and I want to tell the world my story, man. I've got nothing.
At the end of the day, you got to own it.
I've got love for you, nothing but respect for you, my man. I'm sure Rico's in the same boat, man.
I appreciate it.
And we love watching you Friday night, man. And we can't wait to see what comes next.
That's it.
So we're
Watch
excited.
out,
Yeah. And we'll definitely have you back on. We're gonna have Nick Hughes on soon as well. I'd love to have a chat with him. He's a mind from the other side of the game. So it was awesome to have you on to talk to another fighter. And I guess we'll leave it there, eh?
Easy.
Thanks for coming
Sounds
on.
good. Thanks for having me
boys.
on.